Hola, bom dia. Carl Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal live stream, YouTube channel and podcast. How are you today? I'm looking forward to having a really nice conversation with Awen Johnson in a moment after the weather, because she is opening a cafe in Portugal, which I imagine has had its ups and downs in the process of starting a business here. So we'll find out all about that. If you have a similar scheme in mind, Awen is going to be an absolute... a font of knowledge, I suspect, and also the work I believe has only just begun, because the permission has been granted, as I understand it, and the work begins now to create a cafe for that community in Espinhal. So we'll talk to her in just a moment. Thank you for your messages coming through already, and I understand, apologies in advance for somebody spamming people on Good Morning Portugal page this morning, I believe, and asking you to join a cult or something like that. I'll have a look after the show. Obviously, I can't do it now. But the only cult I want you to join is the Good Morning Portugal one. And we don't have any initiation ceremony, no experience necessary. Just join us every weekday morning at 9 o'clock around this time to have a nice chat and meet lovely guests like Awen, who's coming up in just a moment. So that weather... Oh, actually, no, before I go there, a beautiful shot this morning of birds captured by Peter Wilton Davies over there, the unofficial ambassador, of course, of Castanheira de Pera. Look at that. He sent me that this very morning, some birds taking a rest. I'd love to know what they are. My guess, and I never get this right, but they're swifts or swallows, I'm guessing. I don't know whether they're coming or going, whether they're just taking a little break. You know, if they're here in Portugal for a nice little holiday, if they're on their way to Africa again, or they're going up. No, I don't know what's happening there, but I know somebody will know what's happening of that lovely picture there in Castanheira de Pera this morning. Pete going shopping, I believe, but still managed to send us a lovely Good Morning Portugal picture for our starter screen. So if you've got anything like that, your view in the morning, so that we can share that with everybody, just like we've done there with Pete's picture, please send it to me, carl@carlmunson.com, or PM it to me on Facebook, just as Pete did this morning. That's an absolutely beautiful shot, and I would love to know more about those birds. Okay, so on with the weather now. Let's have a look. Still raining in Porto, and will be for today and tomorrow. Temperatures, though, still pretty nice, 24, 22 respectively, and currently 19 in Porto and mainly cloudy. In the capital, 19 degrees and sunny, and that will rise a further 8 degrees to 27 today and tomorrow. A little bit of rain and cloud, so enjoy the sun in Lisbon today. It's going to get rainy tomorrow. You may need your brolly. And forgive me, I can't remember what umbrella is in Portuguese. I think it's quite a complicated word, as I recall. Coimbra currently cloudy, 18 degrees, rising to 30, however. So it was lovely to get in the pool yesterday. I'm affected by that particular weather pattern. Took the kids out. It was a lovely day in terms of having a bit cloud cover as we explore our new home in Anadia here. And I walked the kids for miles, and we had the sort of merciful cloud cover, which helped us a great deal. But it was really still very hot, and it will be today 30 degrees in the Coimbra area, and a little bit cloudy still, giving you a little bit of respite from the blazing sun. Faro, 30 degrees also today, blazing sun all the way, and tomorrow currently 20 degrees and clear in Faro. Let me know who you are, where you are, how you're doing. All you folks who it's been lovely to make the acquaintance of so many new people from expatsportugal.com, and of course a Portugal Calling webinar tonight on how to become a Portuguese citizen with Daniel Reis from Reis and Pelicano. He is a lawyer who specializes in such things, and we'll be talking to him this evening on the Portugal Calling webinar, beg your pardon, from 8 o'clock. Tell you more about how you can register for that later on in the show. A few good mornings. Paul, hola, bon dia, from a very damp Hampshire this morning. Getting to that time of year, isn't it? The season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. So good morning to you, Paul. Hope you're doing well. Lots of love to you, mate. Bon dia. Yes, I have seen the spam and delete it, says Jeannie. Thank you. It's nice to know that people are working on my behalf and dealing with such rudeness in so efficiently. Thanks, Jeannie, and great to hear your news. Congratulations. Wayne Barker, hola todos. Very nice, busting out the Portuguese there. Very good, Wayne. Guarda-chuva. There you go. That's Dave. Hello, Dave. Connected intimately to our guest, I believe, this morning. Guarda-chuva, an umbrella, guarding against the rain, literally, I believe. 17 degrees and cloudy in Tamworth. Over there in the UK. And from Veronica, just pop by to say hello, have a freezer full of blackberries, bottles full of slow gin, stomach full of crumble. It's definitely that time of year, isn't it? That sounds wonderful. When are we coming round is my question. Thank you. Have more views in UK than Portugal. Cool, but rather ironic that that is our more viewers. Yeah, well, it is an expat and explorer service, Will, and thank you for your excellent performance last night on Good Evening Portugal. As we discussed for the last time, I think the effect of the pandemic. But that's not going to go off the boil, that particular discussion. Oh, sorry, Awen. There's still more hellos coming in. Do you know Bald and Bankrupt, says Wallace, the vlogger? No, I don't. I think they're a funny bunch, us sort of live streamers and vloggers and influencers. I like to think of myself as the oldest influencer on YouTube, helping people with exploring a life in Portugal. But I don't know that particular one. Bald and Bankrupt. I mean, I could have used that name myself, but no, don't know that one. Bon dia from Dave Johnson. And has he set me up there, Wallace? I think he might have done. He might be having a little joke at my expense. Bankrupt. Yeah, I guess that, Wallace. I guess that. So thank you for your comments so far. Oh, Sean's coming in. Bon dia, my dear. Okay, we'll be here all day doing comments. So we'll come back to those. All right, Wallace, you could be brothers. Very good. Bald and Bankrupt. You know too much about me, I'm afraid to say. And Wallace is my mate from California, says Will. Okay, some explanation there. He is not the spammer. So let's bring Awen on. Good morning to you, Awen. Hola, bon dia to you. And should I say Boradar as well?
Boradar, yes. Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm really good, thank you.
Excellent. And I think work has begun on your project. Could you give us a bit of background, where it is and what your hopes are with this lovely new project?
Okay, so we moved to Espinhal sort of 6 months ago, bought a house here, and then an opportunity came up maybe a month ago saying that a cafe in Espinhal was up for tender. So last week I submitted my business plan, my CV, some menus to the council in Espinhal, and there was a competition. And luckily I won the competition to be able to rent out the cafe. So that's really exciting. And then we're going to hope to open in the next month or so. But we're going to do a whole sort of refurbishment. We're going to put a new kitchen in there, all new decoration. So it'll be sort of quite different to what was there before. But with the focus mainly being on food. So really good home cooked food.
Sounds fantastic. Now, some people, it's enough for them to move to a new area and get to grips with a new life and a new home, maybe do a bit of refurb on the home. But you're doing that by the sound of it and opening a cafe as well. How's that been?
Yeah, so it's been busy, which has been fine because obviously lockdown happened. So the sort of socializing stopped in face to face anyway, even though it was quite busy online. So we did concentrate on renovating our house here. But I thought this is quite a unique opportunity that came available. And, unfortunately, it did become available because of the virus. I think the previous owner, obviously, COVID sort of put her off running the cafe. And then obviously I've sort of grabbed onto that opportunity, and it is a scary time to be opening a cafe, but at the same time it's quite a unique opportunity, so I'm sort of grabbing it with both hands and I'm going to try and make the best of it.
That's amazing. Yeah, things are a little bit challenging for people, and you say, the twist of fate for the previous owner. I think it's great that you're doing that, and when we've been talking about the pandemic here on the live stream, it's clear that we need to regenerate business on a local level and within our communities, and not necessarily rely too much on the government or corporations anymore. For obvious reasons. What has that process been like? Because I imagine other people are coming to Portugal and they're seeing. They're seeing empty cafes, aren't they? They're seeing businesses closing down, and we need a livelihood while we're here. And then you think to yourself, okay, well, I could do this business, I could do that business. Cafe is quite, a good idea, obviously, rather than some sort of strange and experimental concept. You kind of know where you stand with food, don't you? And if you get it right, it goes well. But what's that process been like in terms of bureaucracy? Because we talked yesterday about the downsides of Portuguese life. Bureaucracy came in at number one. How has that been for you?
I quite like the Portuguese bureaucracy. I think they're really thorough, and being a teacher by profession, I'm all about sort of paperwork and doing things properly. So I quite like the way the Portuguese do everything here. They do everything above board, and everything's very thorough. So I'm quite happy with the way I've been treated as an expat, especially. I've been treated no differently to a Portuguese person, which is lovely because I know the two other people that tried for the cafe were Portuguese, and me being British, winning the tender was just amazing, which just goes to show they treat everyone the same here. Everyone's treated fairly, which is just, it's really lovely to see that and to feel part of this community, and especially to have been given this opportunity to give back to the community. I think that's a fantastic opportunity, and I'm feeling very lucky.
Agreed. I mean, but I'd never looked at it like that, and a lot of people don't. I think with the bureaucracy thing is that it's a thoroughness, I suppose, isn't it? You get all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and you know exactly where you stand, and there's a paper trail to show that. We've got some more comments coming in, Owen. Guten Morgen, Carl. We're a very international bunch here. And to Owen from sunny Wiesbaden in Germany. Valerie says, morning, bon dia. If you're going to do a good English brekkie, I'll be up there. Now, this is interesting. What is your menu going to be? How are you going to approach this? And will you, of course, be doing, as Valerie is asking there, a full English or a full Welsh?
Yeah.
Like twist,
Yeah, we certainly hope to. Yeah, definitely a full English breakfast, veggie breakfast. The focus is going to be on healthy food. So even though we will do, quite traditional British food, as well as catering for American and Portuguese and, any of the tourists or expats that come here, there's going to be definitely some British favourites on the menu. I'm sure you've already seen my sort of pie and mash that I posted the other day, sort of experimenting with sort of traditional British dishes, but with a healthy twist. So I think it's really important to use local suppliers. So I've been chatting already to the baker in Espinal. So he's going to be making all the bread. Fantastic. Hopefully doing pizzas initially takeaway, but with any luck delivery as well. So we're going to be getting our dough for the pizzas from the local baker, and then working with the butcher in Penella, hopefully to get some sausages for our full English breakfasts. So breakfast will be quite British, but also we'll be offering some healthy meals, so things like smoothie bowls, mashed avocado on toast. Lunches are going to be sort of baked potatoes. There'll be a salad bar. So I've already got my deli fridge, so picked that up on Saturday. So that's going to be full of fresh salads, quiches, pies, and cheesecakes. And then for dinner, we're hoping to get a chef in, but we'll see how that goes. But hopefully, like a professional chef will be coming in and doing our dinners. There'll be burgers, there'll be pizzas, but there'll also be sort of really nice, more high-end cuisine for dinner as well. So it's quite an array of food on offer, which is what I wanted. I wanted to create a cafe that I would like to go and eat at. I'm really fortunate to come from North Wales, we did live in Snowdonia, and because of the tourism there and also the good Welsh cooking, there's some fantastic cafes, and I worked at a lot of them growing up. And then I moved to London, and I lived in London for 13 years, so sort of quite picked up on the cafe culture there, and tried and tested quite a bit of nice cafes in London. So hopefully drawing on all of that, and all my travels as well. So traveling all around Europe, to try and bring all that together to a little cafe in Espinal.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Mention Espinal there. I'm questions, which is great. Espinal, can you put it on the map for us? Where, how far are people going to have to travel? If someone's getting excited in Lisbon, for example, right now, thinking, yes, I want my mashed avocados on toast, or I want my Welsh breakfast with a big mug of tea. Where is Espinal in Portugal, and why did you choose there?
So it's really close to Penella. So if you put Penella into Google Maps, you'll find it straight away. It's quite a historic tourist spot. It's got a big castle, beautiful place. And then just right down the road from Penella is Espinal. And we've got the fantastic walk from Espinal up to Lucinia River Beach, Praia Flavia, hopefully I'm saying that right, which is it's a gorgeous walk up several waterfalls, and it's just all been sorted out by the council. They've put new signs up, they've cleared the whole path. So if you did come to Espinal, it would be a really nice day out because there's the walk, there's the river beach, there's Penella, there's Espinal itself. There's other really fantastic cafes and bars and restaurants in Espinal. Marujo's just opened up 2 months ago, and they're doing a fantastic job. So you can get cocktails here. It's it's a really sort of up and coming place, I think, and it's a fantastic place with fantastic people.
It sounds amazing. And for anybody thinking of moving to Portugal, sounds like a good place to have a home as well as visit your cafe and all the other things you mentioned. Rabassal is not far from you, right? As well, that's a famous cheese production area, isn't it?
Yes, they've got fantastic cheese.
Yeah, rubber sale, everybody. So a few more comments then. Kevin Hall saying bon dia from Fuzeta. Good morning to you, Kevin. Great to have your company this morning. We've said hi to Jim and to Valerie. She's got a further request for you though as well. Bon dia from Henry Jeffries, who wants to know also if you'll be doing a vegan burger. Henry is a friend of mine who's been over in Portugal. We took him to Terra in Aveiro, and it wasn't quite as bad as he may have been anticipating or expecting. What will you be doing? I mean, you did mention vegetarian food that you'll be doing. Will you be doing a vegan burger or other offers for vegetarians and vegans?
Definitely catering for everyone, really. So there will be a vegan option, there'll be a vegetarian option, but also like when you have your coffees, you can choose from rice milk, almond milk, coconut milk. So sometimes you don't always get these offerings. So just making sure that everyone's catered for, certainly, definitely.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Okay, and I think we've covered this, Wallace, but what accent? And like, I don't know, where's Wallace from? Where he says, "Where are you free?" He sounds like a Scotsman to me, and then goes on to say, I think he's Scottish. I think he's Scottish. Another request from Valerie: cheesecake. I may have to move up there. Salads would be great because oddly enough, it's not something that is common here. And if you ask for a salad in winter, they look at you as though you've lost your mind. Is that why you've chosen that particular angle to have a salad bar, Awen?
Well, the places I've worked in the past, I've worked at two really lovely. One was a cafe, one was a restaurant, and we had a deli counter, and it was filled with like the most beautiful salads, and they would literally just, they were flying off the shelf, so to speak. So I love eating, really healthy but tasty salads and a variety of different salads, and again, that's not always catered for here. So if we can offer that, I'll be quite happy to eat eat there, and I hope other people will be as well. So really healthy food, but also really tasty. Hopefully, that's what we'll achieve.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. Will says full English veggie. Yay! I cooked 6 of them for my local cafe family many months back and had to cart them down the street on a piece of board like a stretcher. They loved it. So it is interesting, isn't it, to be trying new things? And I suppose introducing things to Portuguese, local native people. We know that the Portuguese are very welcoming and open-minded, and I think the same thing is there for food as well. My Portuguese landlady has been very adventurous, tasting my cookery. She's a bit mad with me actually because she thinks I cook better than she does. But I think you'll find that as well, won't you? That people locally will be interested. Portuguese people will want to know. How has that reception been so far?
Oh, everyone's been so lovely, both expat community and Portuguese. Everyone's been so helpful because we've only been here in this area for sort of 6 months, and then 3 months of that was lockdown. So we've only really been introduced to the community for the last 3 months, and the amount of people that are literally just like, do you want this fridge? Do you want this freezer? You can just have it for your calf. Just people being so welcoming, helpful, and really eager. So just chatting to local people the other night at the bar, everybody wants to help, everyone wants to be part of it, and they're also really keen to try British food, but also I'm quite keen to cater for Portuguese palate as well. So make sure we'll have your pastries in the fridge, and you'll have your sort of pastel de natas, and if you want a fried egg on your burger, you can have a fried egg on your burger. So and anything that the Portuguese would prefer, I'm open to suggestions. So hopefully it can be quite a holistic process where we can evolve and change and try new things as well.
Sounds brilliant. Will you the Portuguese daily? I think it's called the diaria, isn't it? Where you go in and you get a soup and you get a main course, and you might get a dessert and a coffee included, or a glass of wine with it. I think that is a beautiful Portuguese tradition, something that people who eat at their desks back where I'm from do not get to experience. And I think it's lovely that people do that here for working people. You stop and you go out for lunch. Will you be catering to that as well?
Definitely. So I love as well that they take lunch so seriously here. So obviously from the UK, you've got like 5 minutes to eat a quick sandwich, haven't you? But that's part of moving here, and why we love Portugal so much is that there's time. You work hard, but also there's time to just relax and enjoy community and enjoy the food, because the produce here is just fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to using it and having it at the cafe.
Superb. That's lovely to hear that. We've got lots of questions for you. Let's go back. We've had a request for bangers and mash, but we'll come back to that lady in a bit. Eloise, good morning, Eloise. Hi, I would love to see you. Maybe a Good Morning Portugal wine club tasting when you're up and ready. Are you open to that?
That sounds really good. Yes, definitely.
Woohoo, fantastic. It'd be great to do a live evening from your place with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. We're back tomorrow with a selection from Lidl, actually, an Alentejo Red. So thank you in advance for that, Awen. That'd be lovely to do that. Awen, what was the contest about? So I think, is that the tendering process that Jeannie might be referring to?
So you have to put in a business plan, a proposal of what your intentions are. And a strong part of my tender was to sort of try and integrate the Portuguese and the expat community more. So Espinhal Council realised that there's a lot more British people and a lot more American people moving to Espinhal all the time. So houses are selling really often, even during the pandemic. A lot of people have wanted to move to this part of Portugal, and they saw this opportunity as a way of integrating both communities. So that's something I'm going to stick to. I've said I'm going to do it, and it's something I'm going to try and do in the cafe, so that it's a community and a place where things can happen, like you said, with the wine tasting. But also I'm a teacher. I was a teacher in the UK for 10 years. And I hope to do English lessons for local Portuguese children, and also working with Filomena Pascal from Miranda. She said that she's quite keen to do a Portuguese club. So for people like me and my husband who are desperate to speak Portuguese, we really want to be able to integrate more by speaking the language. We hope that Filomena can do a Portuguese club at the cafe as well. So it's not just about the food, it's about the community as well. So hopefully we can achieve all these things.
It sounds really wonderful. Did you have to translate? Presumably you had to translate your process, your tender process into Portuguese as well.
Yeah, I did. I did it originally using people, and then I gave it to Filomena, who's an amazing translator and an amazing teacher. And she spent hours, bless her, on it, translating it into sort of good Portuguese. And yeah, I think that had a lot to do with me getting it. So I'm really grateful to her for all her help.
Oh, she's lovely, and we've had her on the show a couple of times. She's really great, isn't she? You've probably already mentioned this, but I am working, would have missed it. Where is your cafe located? Yeah, Espinhal is where the cafe is, and Dave has given us some good points of reference here as well. Valerie says it's 1 hour 15 minutes from me. I'll be up, she says. Dave says half an hour south of Coimbra. That kind of puts it on the map. That's a good reference point for everybody. And you've got Pedra da Ferida nearby, by the sound of it, and the Praia Fluvial that you mentioned. I mean, Portuguese river beaches is just so superb. So I will be coming with the family for a day out on the river beach and dinner at your place at the river beaches at Lusania. It sounds like, which Wayne's already done his research on that. The waterfall looks amazing. We'll definitely visit and pop in for some wholesome grub when we can. Do you mind it being referred to as wholesome grub?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that.
Well, Wallace is from California, dude, and says, ask the question, can Americans, US, legally work in Portugal, restaurants, etc.? I don't know the answer to that. I know as a EU citizen, just about, it's not a problem, but for Brits anyway, until the end of the year. But what happens there if people want to work? Do you know the answer to that?
Me, I don't know. Is it like a visa? I'm not sure. I'm wondering. I do wonder what will happen to what Brits after Brexit. But I think we've got here just in time, so I think we're okay. We've got our residency, so we're okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to find the answer to that question elsewhere. A good place to go. A lot of Americans on expatsportugal.com, and there's a forum there, so you could position that question there and see what happens. Valerie, sorry, me again. It's okay, Valerie. I think a lot of people are interested in what you're doing, Awen, especially Valerie here. Does Awen have a Facebook page, or is her cafe on Facebook? Just looked as have a few questions business-wise. Excellent. So how do we find, or how do we keep in touch with your progress?
Well, she can contact me on my page, which is Awen TV Johnson on Facebook. But I will be opening up a special Facebook page for the cafe as soon as it's sort of up and running a bit more. So we need to decorate it all and everything like that. But yeah, so I'll announce that on my own personal page. So she's quite welcome to send me a friend request, and I'll add her.
Brilliant. All right. There you go, Valerie. That's really good service. The cafe is near the post office at Espinal. It's easy to see. So another locator for us there. And Paul adding to the glamour and excitement about the area and your position there. Because, as people say, obviously with property and with businesses, it's all about position. Sounds like you've nailed it from this in that regard. As a really lovely area, says Paul. The Praia Fluvial de Lusania is my favorite. I can't wait to go there, actually. Up until now, Goish has been mine, but I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Mrs. T, special friend of Chris Rattenbury, I believe, in the UK in Devon. Give us a dash of the bangers and mash. It's almost like a poem breaking out there with onion gravy, dear. I imagine, along with pies, bangers and mash with onion gravy might be on the menu from time to time.
It's the most requested. So out of all my sort of British friends here, everybody wants a full English breakfast, 100%, and then a lot of people have asked for pie and mash, sausage and mash, but a lot of people want a burger as well. So if you want a really good American burger, you tend to go more you have to go into Coimbra, or I have had to. I'm sure there are more about that I haven't found yet, but definitely going to do a sort of a big beef burger, but also a veggie burger as well. So.
Fantastic. There you go, Mrs. T and Chris Rattenbury. You're going to be fine there. Oh, nice. That's a lot of work and plans, boss. So good luck coming in from Jeannie, who is in Belgium. And Gary saying, wishing you the very best in success, and we'll come up and have a meal with you guys. Would also be a great place for a meetup with Eloise, Healy, and the gang. The Panella Posse. I reckon they could make a weekly meeting there, couldn't they? So fantastic. Lots of love and luck being sent your way there, Awen. What Welsh influences might there be on the menu? Let's talk a little bit more about that.
So just really good home cooking and baking. So I was really fortunate to grow up in a family of everybody who liked cooking, but also, more traditional things like your leek and potato soup. So I know they love soup in Portugal, but yeah, definitely leek and potato soup's one of my favorites, so that'll be definitely quite often on the menu. Welsh rarebit, maybe some bara brith, some Welsh cakes on offer as well. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing a few of my my favourites from home.
Oh, it sounds fantastic. And soda bread, were you going to be showing the baker from Penella how to do soda bread?
We'll see. It's quite time consuming, isn't it, soda bread? He's not ventured out to to doing soda bread yet, but maybe I can convince him.
Amazing. And I really like your idea because, you know, with giving the reins of the restaurant to a chef of an evening. For some reason this morning I was watching a film. I don't often watch films in the morning, but it was Bradley Cooper being a very stressed chef. I don't know if you've seen that movie, and you know, he's going for his 3 stars or whatever. But that's really visionary of you, I think, to, you know, because a lot of people who open a restaurant just want to do all the cooking themselves, don't they? It's like it's their thing. You've got a slightly different view and take on this. But are you open to tenders and offers from other chefs who might be interested in that evening slot?
I've got a chef in mind, and we are in discussion. I'm not gonna just announce it just yet, but he's a very good chef, and he said he's quite keen to do the busy night. So I'll be there all the time.
Okay.
But I was thinking Friday and Saturday nights, and maybe even Sunday day, we'll get this really good professional chef in to help and also bring his expertise to the table. So, and it'll give me a bit of a break as well.
You'll need that. You'll need that, won't you? And we're guessing it isn't Bradley Cooper, because he might be a bit busy. Okay, we'll drop in. Sounds great, says Sean. And Frank in Lisbon, Bom dia todos, wishing our new entrepreneur friend all the best with her eatery. So I don't know if you want to say any more. I mean, basically speaking on behalf of the rest of the community here, we just want it to open and get there and eat some of your food, Awen. So when's that likely to happen?
So we've sort of penciled in the 19th of September as a big sort of opening night. But obviously there's a big renovation to take place. My husband Dave is a builder, and he's got a lot of experience of renovating properties. So it should get done quite straightforward, really, with him doing most of the work. But yeah, there's a lot to do in 4 weeks Saturday. But that's our plan. So in about 4 weeks' time, we'll have a big opening party. But I'll sort of put a lot of stuff out there on social media in the next couple of weeks and try and create the hype. And obviously, this is a big help. So thank you so much for inviting me on here.
Absolutely delighted to help. I think it's so important at the moment. You know, local community businesses give you all the help we can. So let us know. Give us a reminder nearer the time and keep us in touch with your plans. Let's have a look. Did Will Thompson, did they answer the question? No, he's not Scottish. He's a Californian surfer dude by the sound of it. I don't know. I can't remember which question it was. Try it again, Wallace, and we'll see what we can do for you. And it's a bon dia from Kez Cracknell. Do you want to stick around to have a quick look at the news? Because it's a beer-related news story, Arwen, or have you got to go off and get the cafe ready?
No, I'm good to stay.
All right, fantastic. Because this is from today, just before we wrap up. Beer production is up in Portugal, and I suppose this is you think to yourself, okay, well the economy is getting crushed during the pandemic, but certain things will be on the up, won't they, in difficult times? And it looks like beer production increased in 2019. Oh, this is pre-pandemic anyway, but I'm staggered by this. Beer production increased in 2019 to 739 million litres, 15 million more litres than the previous year. Would you care to guess how a country can be drinking 15 million more litres than the previous year? And this is the statistics from Eurostat. Of the total produced, 548 million litres were for domestic consumption. Okay, so maybe exports are up. But I think that's amazing. And it prompts the question from me to you. Are you going to be going the Sagres or the Superboc route? Which is the big question for beer drinkers, I think, in Portugal. So which do you favour, and will you be going, if you care to say so at this time?
I do prefer Superboc to Sagres, but we're going to have both, obviously. But we would like to get a few sort of micro breweries on board as well. So try a few different things. So in terms of price range as well, so really cheap, middle, and then have some more expensive stuff. So there's a whole range of things on offer. Also, my husband loves ales, so I'm going to try and get some nice ales in there, and some really lovely wine and sparkling wine as well. We've been really fortunate to meet so many local wine producers. So I'm going to definitely be meeting with them and speaking with them and trying a few different wines for the cafe.
Oh, good for you. I mean, I know you're going to be working really hard, but that really should be one of the perks of the job, right? Going around and trying local produce. So can you say any more about your wine selections and the sort of wines that are on offer in that district?
So we've met quite a few different people locally and sort of a bit further afield. When we first got here, we were invited to a Portuguese guy, Alvaro. Alvaro just was like, come to my adega, I'll cook you dinner. And then it ended up being this like 8-course meal.
Wow.
And he does really beautiful red wines, white wines. He does a rosé and he does a sparkling, like a champagne. And all of them are delicious. So I certainly want to speak to him before the cafe opens. And then there's people even more sort of locally in Penella that are producing fantastic wine. They've even said they can produce a particular wine for the cafe and have the cafe's label on it and all this sort of stuff. So things that may have been difficult in the UK just seem to happen really organically and really naturally here. So it does feel really good, and it feels like everyone's being really supportive and fantastic.
Oh, I love it. So one final question then, and I'm surprised I haven't asked you this before. What is the cafe going to be called?
Well, this is a funny story because I liked I liked the name Herbs because I like to use a lot of herbs and flavors in my cooking. So I looked at calling it Ervas. And then I took my proposal to Philomena, and she said that ervas has a few different connotations. One of them being the weeds in your garden. So we decided to scrap ervas, and we're thinking now of calling it Aromaticos, which is a much more palatable word for herbs. So Aromaticos, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that. That sounds really good. And you've got to be so careful, haven't you, choosing foreign words? and it sounds like it was a great idea to consult Philomena on that. Gary saying ales, yes, definitely in. So Dave won't be coming fishing for a while, unless, of course, he's fishing, for catch of the day, maybe. As well. Owen, thank you so much for making some time for us this morning, sharing your plans with us, wishing you the absolute best of luck with that. As you can see from everybody here, is really excited about your project and it opening. So yeah, all the best with it, and look forward to speaking to you nearer the time, or even seeing you around the time of the opening and coming in and enjoying it with you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Okay, cheers. Bye for now.
Okay, bye.
Até próxima. Até logo. Até já.
Okay, will out. Bye.
There goes Owen. Fantastic. That is so much more than I imagined. I was excited anyway, but just to hear all of Owen's plans there is superb. And another wonderful thing to add to the list of when we're touring around Portugal, the must-see, must-go places, that location and the cafe, of course, there as well. So just very quickly, as we round up, I will share something else with you about tonight's Portugal Calling webinar. Let me just get this on the screen. We, of course, work in collaboration with expatsportugal.com, and that's where you should go, Wallace, to get your question answered. And we have made a note, and maybe Owen's made a note, that you are a professional barista. Tonight from 8 o'clock, and I share this with some hesitation because it might be fully booked, although I think there is an offer for the Premier members. I think it costs you €20 a year with Expats Portugal. Gets you a VIP treatment on this one tonight, which is pretty important and pretty interesting. I think Portuguese citizenship, who, how, and when you can apply, and that will be under the excellent guidance of Daniel Reis from Reis and Pelicano, special guest on the Portugal Calling online Zoom event tonight. Reis and Pelicano are a specialist international law firm assisting expats with citizenship, real estate and tax law, as well as notary and contract services. In this webinar, focusing on Portuguese citizenship, the who, how, and when to apply. So get over to expatsportugal.com if you're interested in that, and you'll find on the website how to get involved. You have to book. You can't just turn up like you can for the Good Morning Portugal live stream. So it just remains for me to wish you a good day, a bon dia, Actually, no, it doesn't. It's not just that. It's not just saying goodbye. It's also a few more comments this morning. Fantastic from Peter Ramos. Bellissimo, Pajamo. Beautiful. Dear friend, possibly. I don't know who that is aimed at, but I'll take it. Anyway, Wayne Bucker, love the accent too. Talking about Awen, I'm guessing there. Fell in love with a Welsh lass years ago who told me, snot cake, scatto. That was my go at a French accent there. But yes, we can hear that in our mind's ear in a French accent there, Wayne. Thank you for that. Yeah, really enjoyed talking to Awen this morning. See you tonight, maybe on the webinar. See you after that at 10 o'clock for the Good Evening Portugal live stream. I am now calling that because I want it to be a lot of fun. I want it to be robust discussion about the issues of the day. And it is the open-minded expat chat show. And you can join me on screen as Awen did. You can call in on 913-590-303 if you want to talk to me phone-in style. And of course, in the comments as well. So we'll be picking up on a big issue. Maybe it is the rising beer sales. I don't know. Maybe actually it is the slightly alarming situation in Lisbon recently, where a far right group threatened MPs and activists, which is pretty grim. It might be looking at what we can do about the loss of many jobs. 184,000 jobs apparently disappeared from the lowest three pay brackets, 85% of which earned less than 600 euros after tax. How people live on that it remains a mystery anyway. And now look, they're losing jobs there. So these are issues I think we really need to talk about and come up with some solutions. Do join me therefore on Good Evening Portugal to discuss those big issues and really get our heads together and see what we can do about it. So either see you in the morning, see you at 8 or see you at 10 later on today. Thank you for your company so far this great day in Portugal. Have a good one. Take care and bye for now. Beijinhos, abrazos.